Okay, testing. Yeah. I don't get it. Every single time OBS patches itself, and it doesn't even tell you that it's patching itself. It screws with all of the settings, especially the audio settings. It's very annoying. I think you can hear me now though. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let me know if you can hear me. I think you can hear me. Let me see. Doesn't even tell you. Yeah, you can hear me. So, as I was saying, I hate it when streamers give their chat pet names. Because I've been watching a couple of streamers recently. I'm not going to give examples. Apparently, VTubers should do this as well, but at least they're not. Like, for example, Lisa should call its chat Sheeple. It's like, hello, Sheeple. How is it going? You know, like, Pipa should call her chat Capitalist. But she's not doing it. Thank fucking God. But it's so cringe. There are other people that do it. Not VTubers, but actual streamers. And they give pet names to their chat. Feels like a corporate environment. Where you have a bizarre corporation. For example, like Ubisoft. Calling the Ubiist family. You know, like, as an example. Horrible. I don't know what else to say. The only nicknames that I want to hear is from the people that want to suck my cock. You know, like ex-girlfriends, wives, that type of thing. But other than that, like, no. And when I say wives, I mean, like, each wife individually sucking to her own husband, okay? Like, and whatever. Yeah, like Vigot. Like, that would be horrible. I guess, like, I do have a pet name for my chat, if I think about it. Bigots. But is it really a pet name? It's an aggressive nickname, I would say. Very aggressive, but true at the same time. Sounds like angels. Yes. So, I want to point out that my server was a mistake. I mean, especially the VTuber channel from my server. Holy shit. You guys probably don't, or actually, never mind. I'll tell you this later on when there's more people. Because right now we only have 65 people watching. I'll wait for more. I'm keeping the interesting story when there's more people. So that they can interact with the story. So that they can pitch something in the chat that I can go through. You need to do this. By the way, they canceled Batgirl. And I'm like, who the fuck? Batgirl? What? Were they making a TV show? Yes, they were. They canceled it. And now, oh my fucking God, everyone is crying. Like there are so many journalists concerned and upset. And you get like other actors being upset about Batgirl. Let me show you something. This is probably going to be my video for my other channel. But let's talk about the cold hard truth here. All right, let's say the things that you're not supposed to say. So this is Batgirl. That they canceled. Apparently they canceled it quite late into the production either. This is Batgirl. Of course, she's a redhead, so, well. I need to say something. The reason Batgirl sells, I'm just going to show you a comic book with Batgirl, so you can understand why she was selling. Let's see if I can find one. I think, yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to go to the New 52 when she was actually still... there. Actually. Yeah. Covers New 52. I think like when she was at New 52, she was selling the best. So let me put this on display now. All right. Batgirl is a comic which sells exclusively to teenage boys. Girls like to read Batman. Actually, no. Girls like to read manga. Why are we lying? Girls like to read manga. Boys like to read Batgirl. The only thing Batgirl had going for her was titillation. This is true. You know, because teenage boys, they like two things. Tits and violence. So you tell me what do you see on the covers back when Batgirl was selling? You see tits and you see violence. Okay, like these are the one-two combo if you want to make money in the comic book industry. If you want to appeal to the wider audience, hire a Japanese man and make a manga. Okay? And by the way, the wider audience doesn't exist. Demographics exist. You can market something to teenage boys or you can market something to teenage girls. Very rarely can you find something that both teenage boys and teenage girls like, but it's rare as fuck. No, usually you want to get a targeted demographic. And by the way, like, I notice how modern Americans, they view it as evil. They view it as evil if you market to teenage boys. Like, there's something wrong with that. Like, you're marketing to criminals or something. Like, you're marketing to prisoners. It's like, why are you going for that? Why are you trying to make money by marketing to... Like, what the fuck? Right? Like, it makes no fucking sense. But this is... Right, like, this is what Batgirl used to be about. Right? She already did the violence here. She tied up the violence, so now she's doing the sexy pose. So, it's an uninspired comic book hero. What I mean by this is that if you want Batman, you read Batman. Okay? Like, there are no interesting, like, stand-up villains from Batgirl. There's nothing that like, comes out of the ordinary. This is literally, it's like, okay, well, people like Batman. Let's do a gender swap. Okay? Like, that's it. So when you do something like this, you kind of miss the point. Where's the sexiness? Where's the sex appeal? Like, she's almost like wearing a sweater to cover up all of her features. No one is going to watch this. You're not going to put butts in seats. Women don't want to see this. Do you know what women want to see? They want to see Thor. They want to see naked chest Thor with Thor-real, with the hair flowing in the background. They want to see Iron Man. That's what women want to see. They want to see a little bit of Christian Grey pushing that lover against the wall and, constraining her to do things that she doesn't want to do. Legend of the Shield hero is the other thing that... No. Blah, 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 blah. What is it called? Redo of a healing hero. That's what women want to see. What we want to see. I mean, you look at the demographics. Women want to read that manga. What can you do? What can you do? Can you tell them no? Absolutely not. If they want to see it, they're strong, independent women. If they want to see a healer that redoes time and does nasty things to his abusers, then why should the women watch that? Now, this not gonna sell. I'm telling you, like it wasn't even something that I would hate. Like, it's something that came up, and I was like, okay, and then I moved on. I wouldn't even talk about it. The only reason I'm talking about it is due to the fact that so many people are complaining. Like, the whining is never ending. They're whining even now. Like, women love 50 Shades. They love Twilight. They love, usually stuff with a strong, charismatic, rich, handsome, courageous man. The type that most average men fit the definition, right? Because that's another thing. Like, they keep saying, oh, well, we can't have this. Like, hold on. We can't have this. Right? We can't have this because this creates unrealistic standards of beauty. Do you understand this, chat? Do you understand this, bigots? Like, this is unrealistic. This is unrealistic standards of beauty, and what happens is that men are going to, I don't know, like, have higher standards because they're reading comic books and they expect women to look like this in real life. Because we know that comic book readers, they're surrounded by women, chat. Like, if you pick up a comic book, you have such strong masculine energy that your phone just doesn't stop ringing. It's just women asking you out. But because you have these unrealistic standards of beauty, you keep rejecting women and you say, no, I'm not going out with you. And she goes like, wah! Okay? So you're hurting them. So in order for this not to happen, they need to desexualize and make it like this. So that women, all of a sudden can be included in the dating market again, because they were excluded. Like, everyone picking up a comic book, they was like, oh, this is how a woman should look like. And whenever someone was like, hey, do you want to go out with me, John? No, 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 because, like, look, this is what a woman should look like. Did you look in the mirror? I mean, you don't look like that, so clearly. Blah, 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 blah. You know, this is the ideology of the mentally ill academics from the United States. I shit you not. Like, no one even talks about this ideology anymore because it sounds so fucking dumb to the point where they know that they need to desexualize characters from comic books, but they can't articulate why, because even they are ashamed of their own ideology. So, with that out of the way, what do comic book men look like? Right? Like, because, like, if you don't want to create unrealistic depictions of women, let's see the realistic depictions of men. Every single fucking superhero, courageous, great leader, charismatic, very wealthy. I mean, even Superman, Clark Kent, people say, well, he's not as wealthy as Batman. Fuck off. He's got the Fortress of Solitude with countless alien artifacts to the point where a single alien artifact would probably sell for millions of dollars. In my opinion, Superman far richer than Batman if he decides to have a garage sale and sell all of his stuff from the Fortress of Solitude. And then, good at fighting, very competent. Yeah, I mean, clearly, you know, all of these depictions are the average comic book reader. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to set any unrealistic expectations for women. So yes, why would I shut up, Grimlock? You shut up. How about that? You shut the fuck up, Grimlock. Why are you telling me to shut up? Huh? Is this what you are? Anyway, right, let me... Let me tell you something else about my server. My server, chat, was a fucking mistake. Especially the VTuber channel. Apparently, 2 days ago, Pipkin Pippa lost a tooth. Well, actually, 2 teeth. She lost 2 teeth. 2 teeth at the dentist. Which is something that I even warned her about. Like, I made a video before. Like, she said she's got an abscess. I think it was like 2 months ago. And I said, woman, you need to go see the dentist. You need to go see the dentist. I even made a video. Serious shit. You know, you might get an infection, and it goes all the way to the trigeminal nerve and goes to your brain. She did not listen, chat. She did not. She was like, don't worry about it. I popped it myself. Oh, well, if she popped it herself. Now she lost 2 teeth. Okay, so this is what happens on my server. Right? Like, this is reality. Gonna pull out each of my teeth for solidarity with my... Do not do this, by the way. Like, do not do this. Do not. Okay? Just do not do. I would point something out, you know? I don't know what's happening at Face Connect and who her managers are. But, I would have advised a very good business opportunity of her selling her tooth. Teeth factory. Can you, cause I now am curious as a Pipstorian. I'm really curious for how much would those teeth go. Cause I think $5,000 per tooth. That's what I'm thinking. At least 5. Cause I know the community. All right, like I know the type of people that are into VTubing, and I know what they are capable of. So I would say at least $5,000. At least. Although, if she were to do this, I would say that with enough time and money, you too can build your own bunny. Like if she starts selling various parts, right? Like if she, you know, like now $5,000 a tooth, maybe in the future $10,000 fingernails, who the fuck knows? But like if you keep doing this, with enough time and money, you can build your own bunny. Chat, we could do this. We can accomplish this. There were people that actually wanted to donate their own teeth for her. Like that is something that, holy shit, like my VTube channel was a mistake. I'm not kidding. You thought you were drunk? I'm not drunk. I'm sober and I'm a business entitled, how should I say, human being. Business entitled fleshy. Business oriented. Holy shit, entitled. What the fuck am I thinking? Business oriented human. If you were her manager, this is what you should say. Look, I am not the one creating the market. I'm not like a social justice activist that says, you know what, this is what the market should like. Let's create products to teach the market a lesson. I'm not like that. I am the person that understands the market. Okay, the market is there, it exists, and I hear them screaming, "Give us your teeth," and I'm like, Pippa, start an auction, and you can start it at $1,000 per tooth. There will be people that will. I am not fucking drunk. Do you want me to blow into that cop thing? What is it called? Holy shit, you know what? I'm going to get it from now on. I'm going to have it on stream, the blower. You know that when the cop pull you over and they ask you to blow in that shit? I'm going to have it. Just like, it's so fucking bizarre. Whenever I'm drunk, people think I'm sober. And whenever I'm sober, people think I am entertaining you, motherfucker. Like, I am making jokes. Alright? Like, you're supposed to be laughing. Fuck is wrong with you? Call this beer. He's gaslighting me, chat. I don't know. Ever since gas prices went up, people are gaslighting me more often than before. Do I sound jealous? No. I mean, I do sound jealous because I would have pitched this business idea and I would have liked at least 10% of the sales, right? So then you get like, you sell the thing for $5,000, I would get 500. Like, that would have been fucking missed business opportunity. Better than NFT. I don't know. I mean, you can make an NFT out of that. Pipstorian, wow. Let the holy relic of pink anime gamer girl bunny teeth. Dude. There's a picture of it. Hold on. We also have a picture of the event. My server bullied her the entire night. I don't even know why. Like, I expected the bullying to end, but for some goddamn reason, I woke up this morning and people were still going out about it. Alright, like, look. Look at this. Alright, this is, this is the server, I guess, giving her strength. But there is one even better. Let's see if I can find it. Oh. Yeah, this is from mine. You know, like, limited edition. This is how I would have advertised the teeth. Like, this would be the thumbnail where she would announce, it's like, I'm selling my tooth for the highest bidder. And, let's see where it is. Ah, oh, god damn it. Don't tell me I lost the picture because it was so freaking good. Ah! I think I know where I can find it. Hold on. You know, people work really hard on this. Not gonna lie. I mean, there were so many memes coming out of it. So just, yeah. Man, I should stop joking with Discordia. Like, I write on the Lotus Eaters, and I sometimes make jokes about my editor. And Discordia doesn't understand humor in text, and she actually translates the jokes to my editor as if I'm not kidding. And then my editor thinks I'm being mean to him, and he might go to Sargon and then complain to Sargon, and then Sargon talks to me, and it's like, Discordia, for the love of God. And today I told her, like, don't mention this chat, okay? Because we made some jokes. And she's like, what chat? What are you talking about? It's like, she's going to tell him. And the joke is that I think the man hates me. That's the joke, okay? Like, I legitimately think the man has it in for me. Like he despises me through the core of his essence. And she's going to tell her that. And he's going to think that I think that I hate him, and then he probably will complain to Sargon, going like, Sargon, why do I have to work with V? Like, what is wrong with this Romanian? For the love of fucking God, did this ever happen to you, chat? Did this ever happen to you when you're like trying to joke with someone, but that person doesn't fucking get it, and then they're thinking that you're serious? Yes, I do have an editor. The guy that when I write an article, the guy, whenever I write an article, he brings it back full red. I love it. It's like, sometimes I write an article and at the end, it's like, for example, my new article is going to be about the get woke, go broke mentality. And I explain, hello Daddy. And I explain exactly what the thing is, and I point out at the end that because the economic downturn, companies will no longer be able to have this mentality, as we've seen, with Batgirl getting canceled, Supergirl getting canceled. Like we're noticing that companies are having enough of this shit. And my editor is like, the conclusion, can you elaborate on it? Like, can you have like a more firm conclusion? And I'm like, what more do you want me to conclude? Like, my conclusion is that as time moves forward, Get Woke Go Broke isn't going to exist because it's not financially profitable. Like, there is an end to this gravy train, all right? Like, there's going to be less people consuming entertainment, and less people means that you're going to have to struggle to attract them, so you're not going to be able to give the middle finger to the customer. Yeah, but can you elaborate on that? And I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to elaborate? So that's it. This is not the first time. Like, I was asked to like, sometimes I make an article where I make some observations. It's like, can you make a conclusion? It's like, what do you want me to conclude? Like, I notice that the shit is coming out of the dog's ass. Like, what exactly else am I supposed to say? It's like, it's going to sit on the yard and smell? Like, what is the conclusion? I noticed the problem. God. What you're saying is, Get Woke Go Broke. Yes. Honestly, like, I noticed this with streamers as well. Like, you have streamers going woke, and then they attract the type of audience that's also going to cancel them. I mean, this happens so many fucking times. When streamers cater to a left-wing audience, they're really cool. Ethan Klein, for example. Like, he builds up all of this leftist audience that adores him, and he turns them into his personal attack dog, sends them after Keemstar, sends them after other streamers, right? It's so nice. Because now, like, when someone gives you shit, you just send your audience after them, and then they turn on him. And it's like, oh, poker face. Like, how did that happen? How did this happen? It's like, I have seen it time and time again with streamers, like, going woke, catering to this type of audience that is perpetually offended and blah, blah. Destiny, same thing. Like, Destiny catered to this audience, and then it turned on him. It's also for streamers. It's not just for video games and TV shows and movies. H3H3 did that. Yes, he did. You need a council of editors, like 9 of them. Jesus fucking Christ. I used to watch every H3H3 podcast before he turned obnoxious during COVID. I thought that, first of all, I hate the word H3H. It's hehe, right? Like, he obviously went for hehe. But I'm pretty sure, like, there were other hehes. So he decided to spell hehe with a 3 rather than a... So, like, why H3H3 like that? Secondly, I thought he was about funny and joking, and then I watched some of his podcasts, and he was, like, the most moralizing person on the internet. It's like, if I want people to moralize me, I go to fucking church. I go to church, and the priest is going to give me the morals. At least the church is an institution that has experience for thousands of years into moralizing and being the moral busybody up your ass. I don't fucking need to go to a streamer to moralize and preach to me. Who the fuck does that? Notice how I don't tell people how to live their lives. Like, I will sometimes maybe give an advice to a person. It's like, hey, if you want to date, try this. But I'm not going to get like, oh, if you're not doing this, you're a bad person. Oh, you're a filthy, filthy person. You see that transgender person that got swatted but really raided. Oh, yes. So, like, it's very bizarre. I'm not going to name the person because I don't want to give them attention. Like, they strive on attention seeking, right? Like, that's their whole shtick. Like, be a dumbass on the internet in the hopes that other people will talk about you and you get subscribers. But I'm pretty sure you guys know who we're talking about. They got in a beef with the Quarry. They managed to get Destiny deplatformed. The ratio person, let's put it like a mix ratio, mix with like this, okay? Let's name the person mix ratio, okay? So mix ratio got swatted, and I'm finding it very bizarre because they're in Canada, okay? So in Canada you don't get swatted, and then secondly, the police confiscated Mix hard drive. I mean, that is a little bit beyond bizarre, because if you get swatted by accident and the police clears it, why would they confiscate your hard drive? I am helping. I'm streaming with you right now. So that is a thing. That is a thing. Yes. It's mixed ratio. By the way, the whole ratio thing on Twitter. I remember like ratio was when you get more comments than likes. As in, people are going to leave you a comment calling you a dumbass, but they're not going to like your thing, right? That was ratio. But now ratioing is if I post a tweet under your comment and my tweet gets more likes than yours. Like, that is fucking ridiculous. That is brainless logic. First of all, it's the concept of bots. Like, you can bot on Twitter. I mean, I know that Elon Musk is now suing Twitter for bots, and they're probably going to win in court. But secondly, getting, like, even if it wasn't about bots, like, the person with the bigger viewership and subscribers might get... And it's also like, imagine this, right? If I post something on Twitter, and then someone else with a Discord, and with clout on Reddit, goes like, hey, can you like my tweet? Can you like my tweet so I can ratio V? What the fuck does that prove? Like, that doesn't prove anything. That proves that you can mobilize more people than the other guy. But at the end of the day, it doesn't prove that your message was so fucking, mind-blowing. The previous way of ratioing, where you get more comments than likes, no, that works. Because that means you posted something really fucking stupid that people are responding to you, but no one is liking or retweeting. Or maybe if you get more retweets than likes, same thing. Like, you posted something so dumb that people retweet just so you can see how dumb it is, but no one likes it. They may have solicited photos on their Discord from those that they shouldn't have solicited photos from. Yeah, pretty much. Did my tweet get rated? Never. Ratio works both ways. No, I disagree. No, I genuinely don't think that if you post something and someone else disagrees with you in the same tweet and they get more likes, I don't believe that's being ratioed, okay? I mean, look, let's say that I have a spat with the Quartering, and the Quartering says Batgirl is an awesome movie. And I respond to the Quartering and I say, no, it's shit. And then I go to my Discord and I encourage people, hey, let's like my tweet. Please everyone, like my tweet. And then I go on Reddit and I go on other websites. It's like, hey, guys, like my tweet. Meanwhile, the Quartering doesn't give a fuck. Right? Like, he just posted that and is leaving it there and he doesn't give a fuck. And then all of a sudden I get so many likes, right? Because I'm asking, I'm like begging. That wasn't a swatting. I know that police force lived there for years. No way they raid a person without a different reason. No chance. Yeah, I find it very bizarre as well. The fact that the person is making a big deal out of it and talking about it on the internet is also very interesting. But probably sympathy fishing. Maybe get a couple of more donations and whatnot, but still, I mean, a swatting is when the cops come, right? First of all, like, swatting happens mostly in the United States, okay? Like, if you try to swat me in Romania, what would happen is that the cops just knock at your door and they ask, like, what is going on? And if you tell, like, okay, well, that I'm a streamer, blah, 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 they just leave, okay? Like, it's the same in the United Kingdom. They don't come in with, like, the complimentary flashbang grenade in the baby crib and shooting your dog and shit. Like, that doesn't happen in my country. Like, the only time the cops actually go in, like, in full force is if they have sufficient enough evidence that, yeah, like, genuinely that person is a drug dealer or something. But there was even a case with a girl that was kidnapped. Allegedly she died, and, you know, like, everyone was outraged over it for good reasons. And the cops waited an entire day before they got into the place, and even when they got into the place, they had a warrant and they knocked. So, again, like, swatting only happens in the United States. I mean, it's even in the fucking name. It's called swatting, right? Like, SWAT. Special Weapons and Tactics. Like, that's from the US. And secondly, when they enter and they find out, okay, the person is a streamer, they weren't doing anything, it doesn't take that long to figure that out, they leave. They leave. Unless you do something stupid, like, I don't know, resist arrest or something, and you piss off the officer, and then they charge you for resisting arrest. And then it's up for your lawyer to clear things up. and you'd probably win that lawsuit. But still, like, legitimately, like, they could technically arrest you for doing something that you're not supposed to. Don't have to read this out. I'm guessing the picture, there are progressive photos of certain individuals. Man, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know what it is. It's just bizarre. All right? Just very weird. Colin Stars, yes. All right, so we're going to talk about Trump in a bit. Because there's, I mean, you know what? Well, fine, let's talk about it now, actually. Why wait? Because this is the problem with live streams. You got to talk for an hour. And sometimes the title is it needs to be short and concise. So you can't really just talk about the title. You need to entertain people, talk about different stuff. But, all right, so... even people in my country, and I've seen Andrew Cuomo. Andrew fucking Cuomo was also saying that the FBI needs to have a good reason. Let me show you this, because I love how the left likes to call bipartisan. You know, like if you have all the Democrats on their side and then there's 2 Republicans, they call it bipartisan. Actually, you know what? I'm actually being very generous here. If they have a list of Democrats and a single Republican, they will call that bipartisan. So let me see. Oh, here we go. Even Andrew Cuomo, chat. Andrew friggin' Cuomo. So Andrew Cuomo is like, Department of Justice must immediately explain the reason for its raid, and it must be more than a search for inconsequential archives, or it will be viewed as a political tactic and undermine any future credible investigation and legitimacy of January 6 investigations. Here's my take. Andrew Cuomo is afraid. Like, he understands what this means. So what this means is that in the United States, there has been a school of thought, a way of behavior, which is not codified into legislation. It's just like good manners, if you will. Never to investigate, or very rarely to investigate high-ranking politicians, right? Because it's no way of doing it without making it political. Like, if the current administration is investigating the previous president from another party, like from another political party, then it is going to be viewed political. There's no way around it. Now, of course, if there's something major, like let's say the guy is into child trafficking, he's doing like something really bad, then yeah, sure. But other than that, like it is just something that doesn't happen. You know, it's the same reason why Hillary didn't get investigated, right? When Trump was there. Now, you may say, well, this is a good thing or this is a bad thing, but then there's another aspect to this. There's another aspect, which is like never investigate someone of high political importance before an election. And I agree with this, right? Like, this is something that I 100% agree with, because you can do the investigation whatever the fuck you want, just not before an election. Like, you can do it 2 years before, you can do it 2 years after, just not in that period of time. Because, and by the way, like, this is what other countries in Europe do. Like, countries in Europe do this all the fucking time. Before an election, boom, investigation, right? So, why is this a bad thing? Because it, like, undermines the credibility. Because now people are going to ask, legitimately, are they going to ask, it's like, well, is this something that had to be done, or is it done for political reasons? And even Andrew Cuomo is pointing this out. Like, Andrew Cuomo himself, right? He is saying, well, hold on a little bit. Like, this is kind of bizarre. This is kind of strange. And I think, like, he's also worried that he's going to be investigated. Because that's the thing, you know? Like, now that they did this, the Democrats, I assume, right? Now that they did this, it doesn't even matter if they genuinely did it. But what matters is that people perceive that they did it. the next time you're going to have a Republican into office, he's going to do it to them. So Andrew Cuomo is a little bit afraid that, well, now they're going to investigate him, which is a high possibility. In fact, I'm pretty sure that right-wingers who were like, lock her up, they're going to ask, like, okay, well, let's start looking. And, you know, they're saying, it's like, oh, well, no one is above the law. Well, Hunter Biden seems to be above the law. Like, a lot of people with laptops seem to be above the law. Right? I mean, because that's the thing. That's the thing. It's not that people are bewildered that it's happening to Trump. People are bewildered that it doesn't happen to Democrats as well. So, the reason it didn't happen to Democrats is, like, as I mentioned, it's something that, like, the Department of Justice doesn't pursue. You can argue whether this is good or not. They don't pursue this before elections. That's for sure. And now that it happened, well, everyone is fair game. And the problem is that there are certain countries in the world where this is actually the norm, where if you lose an election, you can get arrested. If you try to win an election and you get support, you get arrested. I mean, we see this in Russia. We see this in fucking Russia. Can you imagine if Putin would say with a smile on his face, it's like, well, no one is above the law. Who's going to believe that? Like, one of his political opponents is now in a Russian prison. No one is above the law, right? No one is above the law. I mean, come the fuck on. And it's possible that, you know, like, Putin's opponent may have actually done what he got convicted, but we'll never know, because, like, it's under question. You know, it's sus, as they like to say. It's sus. Should Trump have hit his power level? No. I think that's what people like about Trump, because he's honest and he actually doesn't, quote unquote, like, hide his power level. He is dead. I don't know. I haven't followed the whole thing. But, like, yeah, if you want to talk like no one is above the law, what, you know, Epstein and Maxwell are arrested for trading children in sex trafficking. Towards whom? Whom did they trade the children to? Isn't that a good question there? Like, okay, so, like, the judges found Maxwell and Epstein guilty. Who did they trade people to? Huh? Isn't that a question? Isn't that, like, something that legitimately needs to be asked? Like, who did they trade them to? Well, no, you can't talk about that, because, like, oh, so someone is above the law then. This will be my last super chat for a while. Oh, man of culture, do not tell me this. Need to save dollars for Tower of Fantasy. I'm doing my part to fund the Chinese military through the power of copyright infringement. What is Tower of Fantasy? That sounds interesting. Let me check. What is Tower of Fantasy? Maybe I'll buy Tower of Fantasy to you so you can give me more super chats. Like, it helps my psyche when I get super chats. Tower of Fantasy. I hope it's not... Oh la la. Massive multiplayer online game. Dude, you're going to not give me super chats for this? Look at this chat. Look what man of culture is choosing over me. Why does this lady have stunted growth? Like, why didn't she grow big? Why is she... Like, what are her organs? Look at how massive her head is compared to the rest of the body. Do you know what I noticed? And this, like, also blew my mind. Do you notice how Western women in comic books, they never have hair accessories? Did you guys notice that shit? Like, look at any Marvel comic, DC comics, Marvel movies. Women do not have hair accessories. I mean, look. Let me show you something. This is like something that I literally noticed just now. Whoop. Aha. I managed to catch it in time. Let's hold on. Chotomate. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. Let's see, where do I close? Oh, there we go. I managed to catch it just in time. I think this should fix. So, Um, Captain Marvel. Right. Hold on. This is not the actual Captain Marvel. I literally cannot tell whether or not this is a Poe. Okay, this one's legit. All right. So, this is Captain Marvel. All right. Man, this jaw makes me very jealous. Like, you can cut diamonds. I wish I had this jaw. Like, I would just walk down the street and all the women around me would get moist. It would be like the moisturizer, I would call it. But there's no hair accessories, and it's not just Captain Marvel. All of the Marvel superheroes, like, none of them have hair accessories. And when you think about it, when you're in when you're at the university or where you're out in a club or something, where girls are, you will find women with hair accessories. I mean, my wife has so many fucking hair accessories. It's ridiculous. I mean, all the carbon in those hair accessories, probably a lot more than the cow farts for that year. They don't you need hair to have access? Oh, well. But no. I mean, there are anime girls with short hair that still have hair accessories. So no, it's not necessarily. I mean, technically, yes, you do need hair, but I mean, look here. So like this lady, for example, right? There are anime girls with hair that's short like this, and they still have hair accessories. This one has long hair, and she's got a hair accessory. Yeah, I mean, is it controversial to say that women want to be cute and hair accessories makes you cute? It just blew my mind when I realized. I'll make a video about it just to see how many people complain about my observation. Scarlet Witch? Let's see if Scarlet Witch has a hair accessory. This doesn't count, chat. Get the fuck out. This doesn't count. Like, this is more like a crown, and it's part of her costume. I guess you can... Well, it's a forehead accessory, actually. I guess you can call it fine. Like, but this is so stretching, right? Like, when I was talking about hair accessories, I was talking like a little butterfly here. Or like something that makes it cute, like a little ribbon, or maybe like some bunny ears or some shit like that. Like, something that makes the character more cute. Like, let me see My Hero Academia. I think those on... Because I get what you're saying. But that's not the type of hair accessories that I was thinking. My Hero Academia surprisingly doesn't have hair accessories. Oh, wow. Let me see. Anime girl hair accessory. Okay. I was more talking about stuff like this, chat. Let me see if it's safe to show. And it's safe to show. I always am afraid of Google, because every now and then you might find a picture that's muy problemática. Right, so I was thinking like this. This is a hair accessory. This right here. This ribbon. Like stuff like this. Alright? This one. This yellow thing here. Here. Oh. Demon Slayer has hair accessories. Right? Like, look, here. You don't see this in Western comic. Like, you see it if you go... Oh, okay. Question. Before I make my video about it. Because this might be a cultural difference. Like, in the United States, when you go out. Like, when you went to high school, when you went to university, when you're going clubbing. Do women wear hair accessory? Let me... Hold on. Do girls in US have hair accessories? If you don't see the 50 pixel accessory, you can use your imagination. Fuck's sakes. How did people manage to read books before the visual medium? No, United States, the country. You know what? Let's narrow it down. Hold on, let's narrow it down. Why are most anime girls underage? I'll be able to answer that in a bit. Okay, hold on. Do girls in California wear hair accessories? Okay, so to answer the question, why do anime girls look underage? I'm getting ready for my thesis, chat. I'm gathering all the evidence, so you guys know what I mean. Wonder Woman. Yeah. This is gonna be good. Okay. So, the way Westerners draw cartoons for kids is like this. Although, like, parenthesis. They used to draw like this until recently. Like, recently with California, they have this anime style for, I don't know, like Has-Been Hotel or Hell of a Boss or anything like that. And the characters might look like this, but it's not for kids. Okay? However, ignore that. Rule of thumb is, in the West, when they would have cartoons specifically designed for children, they would draw the characters differently. So they would draw the characters like this. And I think it's also due to the fact that it's not just like a cheaper way of drawing them, but it's also very next to impossible to sexualize this. I mean, I can't. I'm pretty sure someone on the internet is going to have the ability, but like some Powerpuff Girl bizarre draw it. Like, okay, fine, fucking weirdo. I mean, actually, there was a prestigious left-wing comic book creator, which used to have drawings of Ed, Edd n Eddy doing bizarre shit. So, like, maybe I shouldn't be talking about what other people can do with their imagination. But I personally, like, cannot, like, have any naughty thoughts regarding something like that. Like, these are specifically designed for a young audience. Meanwhile, the cartoons that are designed for a teenage audience, they look more realistic. So, when you see cartoons looking like this, they're not designed for 5-year-olds. They're designed for a teenage audience, like 16 and up. Meanwhile, when you look at anime, so, when you look at Japan, they do not make this differentiation. Like Japanese cartoons, whether it's designed for children or for teenagers, they do the drawings realistic. So, for example, this is Misty from Pokemon. And I remember Kotaku got into problem for showing a couple of lewd pictures of her because apparently she's underage. I didn't even know that. I'm not even interested in the character. But I'm just saying, it's hard to carbon date her, right? I mean, it's whatever the artist says. Like, if the artist says she's 18, can you make the argument that she's not? But if the artist says she's 16, then you're fucked. I don't know. Whatever. My point is, this and this have the same realistic design, right? However, Uzaki-chan is obviously an adult. Not like just because of the milkers, but it's also she's at university. The only reason that people consider her on Twitter to be underage, because yes, clearly child molesters are interested in big tits, is due to the fact that the character height is very small. Right, so like they consider that well, first of all, I think like people on Twitter just hate the fact that anime is competing with Western animation. So that is why they're like trying to find any sort of complaint, any sort of like, I mean they consider this to be hypersexualized, even though she's wearing fully clothes. Like there's no problem with it. This is a romantic comedy, right? But it's designed for a teenage audience. This is a show designed for children. However, the Japanese, they do not make the same distinction like you see in the West, right? Like in the West, they clearly do this. I don't think it's an ideological thing. I think it's just like they don't care. It's like, oh, well, if it's for children, they don't have to put that effort. They can half-ass it. They don't have to focus on the drawings or anything. V was talking about the creator of Steve Universe. Yeah. So the creator of Steven Universe was in a controversy for drawing very peculiar fan art of Ed, and Eddie. Thoughts on Ash and Misty no longer being canon? Dude, I never liked Pokemon. I mean, I found it interesting and stuff, but like at the end of the day, it wasn't the universe that really captivated me. There's far better anime than Pokemon out there. Short equals child. They're really dumb. Just so you can understand how dumb they are. There were Japanese girls that pointed out they look like Uzaki-chan, right? Because it's like, oh, the body is unrealistic. Oh, realistic depiction. Oh, like, where are her organs? Oh, where are her organs? Yeah. And she's not the only one, by the way. Like, there are just so many. I love cosplayers. They're God's gift to Earth. Like, every single time a progressive twat on Twitter complains about anime girls being unrealistic, there's a cosplayer to show why they're an idiot. Every single fucking time, with no exception. With absolutely no exception. Yeah, Uzaki-chan is an adult. I mean, there's no fucking question about it. There's no way you can look at that and say, oh, well, that's a child. Unless you never exited your house and you never seen smaller women. I mean, newsflash, women are short. Most of them, at least in comparison to me. And I don't think I'm a very tall guy. I mean, I knew women that reached, with their head, they would reach a little bit above my belly button when standing up. And they were the same age as me. So I don't know, I mean, the fact that someone is small doesn't make them a child, okay? Like, Peter Dinklage is an adult. Please, for the love of God, let's establish that. Look up Serena from Pokemon. That's Ash's official... I don't care who Ash dates. Asians cannot help being so... Yeah, I mean, I don't know the average height in Asia. Like, I know it differs from country to country, the average height and all. But just because someone is small, that doesn't make them a child. Now, there are actual people, and this is a problem in Asia. Like, there are certain women that might be like 32 or 40, and they're 15 or 14. Like, that happens. There's a condition. I don't know the name of it. It eludes me right now. But yeah, I mean, those people, whenever they walk in a bar, they're getting ID'd because they literally look like a child. And obviously, it's probably a very difficult life to have, especially on the dating scene. Like, there was this documentary showing one of these ladies, and again, like, she looked, I think, like a 9-year-old or something. Like, she was incredibly young, but she was 35. And she was talking how it's impossible for her to find a date because the only type of people attracted into her are problematic individuals, let's put it like this. So, yeah, but like that's not what people are talking about when they're referring to Uzaki-chan. So true. Oh, look, I found the person in the chat. You know what? If you're that type of person suffering from that type of condition, I feel sorry for you. There you go. There you fucking go. Least I can do. My woman is Romanian and she's good 150 centimeters. Yeah, most Romanian women are taller than other women, let's say. I'm 32 and my bus driver always asks me if I want a student ticket. Oh, it is what it is. It happens to men. Yeah, like that is the condition for men as well. Where, again, you look like a child, but you're actually like 30 or 40, and it's very bad, right? Because like everywhere you go, you're going to get ID'd. Dating is going to be a hell. It's going to be very difficult finding a job as well, because like these people suffer from dwarfism as well. It's not only that they look young, but they're also very tiny. So it's not a good thing to have. And I think like it comes up with other conditions like heart issues and yeah. Remind me to lock up my Monica Lewinsky signature. Oh, I see. Humbled by the bus driver. All right. So, shit. I forgot to talk about the important aspect of the whole FBI thing, right? Now, apparently, when the FBI raided Trump's villa, they didn't allow his lawyers to witness the raid. They didn't allow anyone to witness the raid. Like, they got everyone outside of the mansion. So Trump said that this is highly irregular and that from his point of view, they could plant anything. Because no one was there to see what's going on. To which, now the media is like, oh, Trump baselessly is suggesting. Like, motherfucker, he's not suggesting anything besides a lack of transparency, which is highly unusual in a situation like this. Like, if you're going to raid the house of the ex-president, at least you would want maximum transparency, right? Like, you wouldn't want any questioning to be placed, because obviously it's political. Like, right now, the opposite party is in power, and you're raiding the ex-president belonging to the opposition party. There is no fucking way you're not going to have this become political issue. So, if you're not going to let his lawyers in, which I don't know, like, why wouldn't you let his lawyers? Well, what is the reasoning for not having lawyers in? Can anyone explain? Can anyone, like, maybe there is. I'm willing to hear it out. So, I'm not saying that they planted anything, but there is no transparency. It's opaque, which is a problem. Now, of course, even Trump isn't saying that they did plant something. What Trump is saying is that this is highly unusual. You should have lawyers when a search is happening. Now, what's interesting about it is that social media, hopefully social media with fact checkers is going to ban people suggesting that the FBI planted something. Like maybe we can have that. Like hopefully in the next coming months we're going to have social media making sure that no one is suggesting the dangerous misinformation that the authorities planted something. Wouldn't that be great? Like maybe we can just clear up any misconception. Yeah. Who needs transparency anyway? Trump is going down, says Joe Biden. That's good, because then DeSantis is going up. I gotta say, I'm a bigger fan of DeSantis than Trump. However, I would like Trump to win, because then you can get 2 more terms of DeSantis. Right? So that would be a lot better. But anyway, right, it is what it is. What can you do? You haven't been caught up on the story? Oh, they raided his mansion and apparently his lawyers weren't present. And the reason they raided his mansion is because they claim he had a couple of documents which he had to turn in after he stepped down from being a president. This is actually a thing. Like, there is a difference between the institution of the president and the president himself. So, when you get certain documents, they are, quote-unquote, from the people. Like, they are from the institution of the presidency. So you have to give them back. That's what they're talking about. It's kind of like, like if you work for Starbucks and you get, like, documents from Starbucks, even though they're on your desk, they're not yours. And you can't take them home. Like, you have to keep them at the office because they're the companies. Well, with the president, it's like they belong to the people. So even though they're on your desk and you can see them, you can't take them home. So this is what it's about. Like, they got an anonymous source that he still has these documents. And even though, like, for 2 years they didn't do anything about it, they're doing it now before an election. Yes, his lawyers weren't allowed to oversee the search. But not only that, like, Hillary Clinton was accused of the same shit, right? Like, why were people upset about what Hillary Clinton did? It's because she had the documents on a personal laptop which she took out of the office, right? Like that was the argument, that was the accusation. So, you know, with no one is above the law, like, well, considering that you already have a case where someone was above the law, like, you would think that doing this would be a highly political thing. Again, Andrew Cuomo, which I'm pretty sure that he is afraid of getting investigated himself, is saying that the DOJ must immediately explain the reason for this because it undermines any future credibility of the legitimacy of the January 6th investigation. Well, don't worry, Andrew Cuomo. Like, I'm sure the social media is going to make sure that anyone not believing the January 6th investigation or undermining its trust is going to get banned quickly. Because that's how you convince people. You know, through censorship, there's no two sides of the same issue. It's just one side and misinformation. And if you do that, then you manage to convince the people. That is whataboutism. Yes. Absolutely. I will definitely think that the Republicans are going to do this in the future. And then the Republicans are going to... then the Democrats are going to whataboutisms. Strange poll question. Oh, it's for the video that I'm having on my other channel. I noticed that you may have been a little bit late to the stream, but we already discussed how people that read manga notice how all the anime girls have hair accessories versus DC comics and Marvel comics and Western comics. Like, whenever they have a woman on the screen, she never has hair accessories. It's just something that I noticed. It's just like bizarre. I wonder if they... Actually, it's not just hair accessories. Hold on. They don't have earrings either. They don't have earrings either, chat. Let me look. Unless I think it's like the Wakanda, you know, characters. They have like those big earrings, but Marvel superhero. Now I'm actually picked. I want to see if I'm right or not. Female Marvel superheroes. All right. Holy shit, chat. I'm right. I am so fucking right. I mean, okay, this is a hair accessory. But that's it. And other than that, they don't have earrings. Not a single one of them has earrings. Now, again, I'm not saying they should. It's just something that I noticed. Oh wait, she has earrings. Every single woman I know, every single, no exception, when they go out, they have earrings, at least here in Romania, right? Meanwhile, with anime, they have hair accessories and earrings, all of them almost. If you can see, at least. I mean, look here. I just googled anime girl. Like, this is what came out. Hair accessories and earrings. Every single one. I'm sure you might find a couple that don't. Especially the ones with long hair. Yeah. Look. Earrings. It's muy interesante. Look. Yeah. It's another thing, you know, because I always, like, when I was looking at comic books, especially from Marvel and DC, like, something just feels off. You know, like, you don't notice, it's like, it's the earring. No, but it's like, you look at them, and it's like, something is off. You know, something is not like it's supposed to. I can't put my thumb on it. I just don't know what it is. But then you're like, oh. And it's like, that's it, right? It depends on the character. Yeah, Sailor Moon had earrings. And she had... not only that, she also had hair accessories. Look at this, you bigot. Right? She's got the hair accessory, and she's got the earrings. It's again, it's not something that is a problem. I mean, it's just, but like you look at the Western design for women, and it's just like it's something that's not there, and it's like this is just weird. Why is the perv a stock character in anime? What do you mean? Earrings are symbol. I think Anita Sarkeesian actually had. Yeah. She actually had an entire thing. Like this was just beautiful. Like she had earrings, she had lipstick, and she was talking about the gender signifiers and how they're tools of the patriarchy. She was talking about earrings and lipstick and all of that while she was having lipstick and earrings. The girl in Sailor Moon wore different civilian clothes every episode. That is correct. Yeah. Like, that is something that I noticed back in my day when I was a kid. You had cartoons, and in cartoons, every single character wore the same clothes every single episode. And Sailor Moon, they wore the same uniform, but, like, when they were out, they wore different clothes. And not only that, I remember Dragon Ball. Like, in Dragon Ball, it was so cool, because, like, they would have a battle, and, like, the shirt would be torn, and the next episode, the shirt was still torn, and it was like, wow, that's so fucking cool. But it's probably easier to draw, I guess. Like, back in the old days, like, the Flintstones. You know, the Flintstones wore the same clothes every single episode, every single time. Same with the Jetsons. It was probably because they would reuse the animations, so it was easier for them to reuse the same clothing. I'm a guy, and even I have a tiara? I see. Makeup was used as a medium for the Sailor Moon girls to transform as well. Oh, that's a good point. Anyway, right. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, it was a good stream. And I'm sorry for being all over the place. I should have just talked about the Trump thing a little bit more concise. But it's going to be interesting to see if the Department of Justice actually comes up with something. Because if they don't come up with anything, oof, people are going to be upset. I already, like the thing is, already I see people in the media, it's like, oh my god, well, the FBI agents, they're getting death threats on social media. I mean, nice way of moving the conversation away from a historical fact in the US. Like, it's a historical fact that the president, that the next president, 3 months before an election, had his house raided. Like, that is the story, okay? If the FBI gets threats on social media, you have a report button, you have a trusted safety council. You are the fucking FBI, right? Like, you are the fucking FBI. If someone sends you threats on social media, do something about it. You're paid to do something about it, okay? But that's not the news. The news is that the ex-president of the United States was raided. That is the fucking news. Oh, well, the FBI agents are getting threats. And everyone that talks, including Tim Pool, oh, well, I'm not gonna... Why do you even have to say that? This is what I don't get. Like, why is it even assumed that for some reason you are... Like, no, okay? Like, they're the FBI. Report, okay? Trust and safety. Find who did it. Like, imagine if the FBI themselves can't find who the twat is and do something about it. Like, what do they want me to do? What the fuck do they want me to do if they can't do it? They're the fucking FBI. Well, I know one, but like you moved me. You moved me when I was talking about that condition that certain Asians suffer from, and you were like, yeah, that is so true. I assume that you're suffering from that. So I was like, oh, that is. Sailor V parody. Oh my god, do you know like the magical girl thing, which is what is it? The whole Sailor Moon shtick, you know, it's like a magical girl. The Japanese like have subverted it. So there used to be a time where they copied the magical girl thing. I think Wedding Peach. Like, Wedding Peach is a Sailor Moon ripoff. I don't fucking know why they didn't get sued. So Wedding Peach is... I haven't really seen it, to be honest, but what I know is that they transform using, like, the wedding bouquet. And they have, like, instead of, like, sailor outfits, they also have, like, wedding outfits and shit. Right? So there was a time when everyone was ripping off Sailor Moon. Now, this eventually became the magical girl trope, which is very similar to like how the isekai trope, it has its thing. Well, it was like the magical girl trope. Recently, they subverted the magical girl trope and they're making it as fucked up and violent as humanly possible. So there is the magical girl website where the girls are getting like magical powers, but they have a drawback. Like, for example, there's this girl that needs to use a razor in order to hurt herself so that they can heal others. Like, that is in the anime. That's a trope. Just so you can know how fucked up that it has everything from rape to animal abuse. Everything is in that fucked up anime. Alright? And then you also have, there's another one where the magical girls, like, I think it's like after a world war or something. And there's an evil magical girl and she locks up one of the good ones and cuts off her hand and shit. So like now that is like the same way you have the boys like subverting the cape shit, you have all these anime with fucked up magical girls subverting the Sailor Moon trope. Why do I know all this, chat? Why the fuck do I have knowledge of this? Magical girls predate Sailor Moon by 2 decades. There is no fucking way. There is no how? Like the anime wasn't even a thing there. The magical girl trope was before Sailor Moon, but was a witch. Okay, fine. Why is it that every single time, regardless of the subject that I talk about, you think you know some esoteric trivia. You think you know something that most human beings cannot even comprehend. Like something so fringe, something so bizarre that like surely people are going to be impressed of you being the human version of Wikipedia. Like no one is going to contradict you because no one knows what the fuck you're talking about, right? And then you talk about it and the chat is like, actually, you're incorrect. Like the magical girl trope was 20 years before Sailor Moon, made by the famous Japanese author Himata Makura. And it first started on July the 17th, 1942 at 5 o'clock. That fateful day, he took his pencil and he drew the first project. You don't know shit, V. You don't... Every single fucking time. Like, there is no exception. No matter what the fuck I'm talking about. No matter what. Like, I can talk about, like, the mushrooms that are growing in my lawn. And people will be like, actually, V, those aren't mushrooms. They're a special type of fungus which grows under the European climate when the weather becomes very hot and is being driven by the shit of the stork. So whenever a stork rests in your lawn, and you don't know nothing, V, fucking hell, why don't you start your stream and talk about things? And before people are telling me that Peter Pan was a magical... Oh my god. It's every single fucking time. And I don't have a chat that big. I got 227 people in the chat. What is the chance that one of you is a fucking expert on anime magical girls? What is the chance? There is no fucking way. You pay me to stream. You do know, I get it. But trust me, if you are this fucking legendary Wikipedia, you should stream, because you're going to make more money than me. This boy's intelligent chat in the world. It fucking is. It fucking is. Anyway, right. I'll leave it at this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.